Hey everyone, what's up? It's been a hot minute, as it always been, but I really want to upload this video on the 1st of June, because it is Pride Month, and I was kind of thinking of doing this whole little series of things where I upload one video a week. They're all going to be related in one way or another to the LGBT plus community, and I specifically wanted to start with this video because it's related to a conversation that's been going around a bit the past few years. It's regarding the term transtrender. You've probably heard it. If not, then I'll go ahead and explain it to you. So I've seen this term pop up every now and then. I've seen it used now more recently, and seeing a whole debates about it. I felt like this was something I wanted to publicly express my opinion about. So to start off, transtrender is not a compliment at all. Transgender refers to someone who identifies as transgender, but only to appear different or unique or cool, something like that. And to those who don't know what transgender is, that's identifying as a separate gender from what you were assigned as at birth. Also, hello, I'm Wen. I'm a transgender man and I've been on hormones for 2 years, so if you didn't know, this is why I'm talking about this. What propelled me to make this video at all wasn't because of discussion I was seeing on Twitter or anything like that. This was actually because I was browsing through YouTube and they recommended me a video. It was a video of a very young trans guy, and basically what looked to be him criticizing someone else who identified as trans. I'm not going to give out the name of the YouTuber who did this, but I watched the whole video and it gave me a lot of feelings. Enough feelings to really put myself out there and to get myself involved in this discussion, which takes a lot, by the way. That takes a lot. I'm naturally a pretty introverted person and I try to avoid conflict as much as possible, but at this point, at least regarding this topic, this isn't something that I can really be silent about. In this day and age, there's so much more information now on the internet about transgender people. Transgender people are being more talked about through mainstream media, and it's being talked about more publicly in general. So of course, a lot of people, at least compared to, let's say, 5 years ago, a lot of them are questioning their gender more, becoming more curious about themselves. I feel like that's really cool. That's really amazing. To know that we've gotten so far in such little time, to have people open up more, and to realizing that, their true selves, to realizing their true selves. And I feel like a lot of people have mistaken this as people who just want to be trans because it's the hot thing in the media right now. I feel like there's this blurred line that's been formed when people use the term transtrender now, because it's meant for people who identify as transgender, but with malicious intentions. But at the same time, it's being thrown in the same direction at people who generally are trying to figure themselves out. I can't even begin to dig into the amount of direct messages I've gotten from so many other people, mostly young kids, wanting to reach out to me and giving them advice regarding about figuring out their gender and about hormones and stuff like that. A lot of them are scared and don't know about hormones. They don't know much about transitional surgeries. A lot of them don't feel like they're comfortable in doing transitional surgeries, and a lot feel like they're unsure about hormones, don't want to do surgery. A lot of them feel like because that they're unsure of hormones and because that they don't want to do surgery, that's going to invalidate them even more, because they don't want to be called transtrender. Not everyone can afford clothes to look more masculine or feminine, and even if people can afford it, not everyone can physically present the way that they want, just because not everyone lives in a safe environment. Some of them live in a very unsafe environment. And also not everyone has to feel like that they have to be suicidal or completely hate their bodies to a core in order to be a certified transgender. So how can we tell the difference from people who generally identify as transgender and who are just doing it for attention? Unless each person you meet tells you that of their insecurities, their traumas, their family problems, You can't. You can't tell the difference, at least from first impression, and that's the problem. We have people in our own community pointing their fingers and accusing others just because they don't fit into the whole mold that society has kind of put us in, and doing the same exact actions as the people who didn't accept us when we were pre-transitioned. The mentality of the whole, I get to decide who you are, so I won't respect who you want to be. Then what should we call the people who are being trans just to feel cool? Just call them assholes. Seriously. Let's begin, as we enter into Pride Month, promoting that it's okay to question your identity or your sexuality, or even both. That even if you decide later that you're more comfortable with what you were born as, or you're more comfortable being straight, then that's okay. Or if you realize that you're gay or you're trans, then that's amazing. That's awesome. Let's stop with this whole weird gatekeeping on who should feel validated for their identity. Start showing a bit more sympathy and open-mindedness about people's situations. Seriously, I know getting angry is the first instinct that you want to pounce on, but just take a quick moment, take a breather, and reflect on why someone that you have never met in your life, someone who you don't know, is creating such a huge impact on you. How can you make yourself better in educating others in regarding to understanding and just not being a dick? Feel free to leave your own opinions in the comments down below. I'm curious to see what other people think regarding this topic, and I'd really love to start conversations about it as well. I'll see everyone next week, and happy Pride Month.